Hi, my name is Jenni Alpert. Today I'm here on entertheshell.com, and the first song I'll be singing is Untied. When spring turns to summer, I'm falling to the ground. I miss my lover, says he needs time to come around. Say you've got it all figured out, your return wish style. As I pass the time, your sweet caress taunts me all the while. I can't resist you, babe. Your touch does me just right. And I insist that, babe, you take me for a ride. You've got me untied, oh. There's nothing stopping me or what I would do. You're always so difficult and you play me for a fool. And something between us, I know you feel it too. In a flood of wine, I'm dancing. My river bleeds for you. I can't resist you, babe. Your touch does me just right. And I insist that, babe, you take me for a ride. Oh, you've got me untied. Oh, I'll tell you, sweet darling, you've got me going out of my mind. One more taste, sweet darling, you'll have me begging for one more time. I can't resist you, babe. Your touch does me just right. And I insist that, babe, you take me for a ride. You've got me untied, oh. Da 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 da. You've gotten me untied.
Another thing that might catch on is I noticed that me and you have a thing in common. We both like tea.
Tea.
Right.
Yeah. How'd you know that I like tea?
You
looked it up?
I looked it up.
Hey.
The fun things you can find on the internet about Jenni Alpert. If you log on to jennialpert.com, you know she's a big tea fan. I've been trying to try this spot. Now, this is what sucks. I've been trying to meet with a friend, and maybe you've had this experience. I haven't seen this friend in, I want to say, 15, 20 years. So it's been a while. But we recently reconnected on Facebook. And
what?
Well, recently, like 2 months ago, we recently reconnected, and we've been trying to just go and just see each other, because whoever sees anybody that they know on Facebook, unless like you really know them, you know, like I'm pretty sure you have about 1 billion, you know, Facebook friends, you know, on your fan page. And when do you ever really see them, right? It's mainly like they just, you know, they see you or they hear about you.
In the orbit of the abyss of the nets, right?
Exactly.
Internets.
The internets. And so you know, see these people, and you know, they'll comment, you'll comment back, and you'll only get to know them by picture.
Yeah.
You know, so I was coming to that conclusion where not a lot of my friends on my personal Facebook are like that, but I have a few like that where they'll comment, and I haven't seen them in ages. Because a lot of my friends, if you're friends with me on Facebook, you're friends with me in real life, and I pretty much see you. You know, I want to say at least twice, maybe 3 times a year. So this person I haven't seen, I was just adamant about like, well, if we're really gonna be friends, like let's really
do something
and like be a part of each other's lives. You know, it doesn't have to be like, you know, we have to see each other like every week, but just once in a great while. Just I don't know, like I'm like that where it's just like this whole social media thing is really not necessarily for me, but I like to see the person that I'm interacting with. You know, if I do it through text or whatever. I don't know. It doesn't through text. I lose so much, you know, during text, especially the way I talk, the way I am. Like a lot of things get said or misinterpreted through my texts. So it's I always say, "Hey, man," you know, it's better out over the phone or whatever.
Right.
So we've been recently trying to reconnect, and I've been trying to go to this place that I heard about. It's called Bird Pick.
Oh wow.
Have you been there?
No.
It's a tea place.
Oh cool.
And that led me to thinking about baristas.
Oh yeah.
Because baristas deal with the coffee aspect of life, right? But it's just like, okay, barista gets a glory, but what do you call a tea person?
Barista.
A barista. I like that. You are a tea-rista.
Hey, barista. Hey there. Want you to feel wanted all the time. Show you good loving so you know you're mine. One of these days, and it won't be long, all of these shadows, oh, they'll be gone. Want you to see deep in my heart, show you the truth in love from the start. One of these days, and it won't be long, my love won't be hidden in a love song. Don't you cry for me, I know not what I do. Don't you lie for me, I will lie for you. You pick me up as I swallow my pride. Teach me to love when love abides. One of these days, and it won't be long, all of these feelings, they won't be wrong. One of these days, and it won't be long, all of these shadows, oh, they'll be gone. One of these days, and it won't be long, my love won't be hidden in a love song.
please go ahead and log on to JenniAlpert.com. There you can find out more about her obsession with peanut butter and whatnot.
Peanut butter, whatever.
It's funny that you should mention, coffee, because you just released a album through Cappuccino, right?
Yeah, so that's funny. I think because, it's sort of an interesting story, and I won't take too much of the time to...
Take it. Take it.
But I started out as a backpacker besides being a musician and a composer. And I studied in Spain years ago and then backpacked through Europe and just hopped trains and things of this nature. And I met a bunch of people. And on one train, I met a bunch of Italians. They were like, you come to Italy, we're going to feed you. That's what's going to happen. So you just keep on taking the train. We'll see you in about a month. And I did. I showed up. If anyone ever says, like, hey, you can come by, like, even once, that's it. Like, I'm showing up whenever, right? So anyways, I showed up, and I'll never forget it because I crashed. I had, like, my own little bedroom, and every morning I would, like, wake up to this smell, and on the bedside would be this shot of the best espresso you ever had in your life. It had a little bit of dollop of the cream in it, and it was amazing. Yeah, it was so good. It was so good you could taste it as you were smelling it. So I think they got to know me as this, like, crazy coffee chick, right? And I just kept in touch with them. And years later, they brought me back there, and they would book me a bunch of shows, and they would speak Italian. So I, like, don't know what they're saying. I'm just sitting there waiting to sing. Everyone's laughing. I'm like, I hope it's good. And then I sing my songs. And it sort of kind of became a show. So I would come back here and then in the other times, and people were totally down, and it was fun. So one time I was there, and my friend, who was, like, my driver and also played guitar and, like, would speak Italian for me and book these shows, had a day where he had to go work. One day he was working. So this particular day, I didn't have anything to do, and he's like, well, I'll just take you to this place, this studio, whatever, like, he'll be here for a couple hours, you'll be happy, whatever, you can just watch what they do. That's all he said. Now, he drops me off at the studio, and no one else speaks English pretty much. So here I am, like, in the studio, and I'm like, okay, great, music is the language of the world, so okay, that's no problem. And I'm watching them do this session, and it's awesome, everything's cool. But it was kind of like one of those towards the end of the sessions. My friend's running late now. He was supposed to come back, and he didn't. And the session kind of ended early. And so everyone left, except for me and the engineer. And I'm sitting there, and he barely speaks English. And I'm like, well, hey, this is cool. Like, beautiful piano, awesome mics, awesome studio. Like, thanks so much for letting me be here. And he was like, you want, I don't even know how he did it. You want to play a tune, like play piano, like whatever he said, barely even like the sentence. So basically he invited me to come and sit and play the piano for like whatever. And I was like, all right, cool, yeah. And so I just
Do you play piano? Just out of here? Okay.
Oh, right.
Because I would have been terrible.
Why is she holding the guitar and talking about piano? Piano's my first instrument.
Okay.
And this is amazing piano. So I just played a little, and then he was like, yeah, cool, like go ahead, play some more. So I just played. I played every song I possibly could that I remembered that I wrote on the piano and just sang to the mic, this beautiful whatever. And it was about 27 minutes later, my bride showed up, and I heard a click. And I was like, whoa. He's like, well, I just recorded that. And I was like, well, that's crazy.
Right.
Okay. And what happened is like within a year and a half later, you never know who you're going to meet, actually. You never know what their path is and what their passion is. And so ultimately, they had always wanted to start a vinyl record label, but they just didn't. And they work. Italy's kind of small. When they say mafia, it's kind of like the truth. Like the music is there, and it's really like Italian music. They're very proud, and they just keep it there. And they have sometimes international artists, but it's still under this umbrella of the Italian way. And so anyway, they were doing real well and busy with all the Italian people, and then they had this recording. And within a year, they were like, oh, hey, we were wondering, like, can we do this? I was like, okay. They were like, can we use these photos? Sure. Can we pick these songs? Okay, sure. And like this, that. And I was like, everything. It was like Yes Man all over this like experience. And then they just mailed me a bunch of vinyl records with all these songs they had recorded live. And they decided to call, their label Cappuccino Records, and I don't ever know why. Like, I'm not sure.
You know, it's because of you. Come on, Jenny. Yeah. Jesus, she's like, it's because of me. I don't want to take credit for that.
They might like it too. So that's where that came from. I wanna love you each and every day. And I wanna know you in every kind of way. Loving you makes me feel whole inside. And when loving is this real, there's nothing I can hide. Oh, I wanna be your baby tonight. I wanna love you each and every night. And I wanna show you that everything's alright. 'Cause loving you makes me feel whole inside. And when loving is this real, there's nothing I can hide. I wanna be your baby tonight. Sometimes it's true that I'm a bit unsure. When I'm with you, there's nothing I want more. 'Cause loving you makes me feel